Hi there, I am Avatar Matthew. I will complete the second part of session 1 that is prepared by Hamdi Rashid. After taking the first break, let's continue our first session. The compliance function helps organization management to understand what's happening in business, how it affects others, and what to reduce legal obligations. With proper internal controls in place, compliance can reasonably feel assured that your business is operating in accordance with all applicable laws, rules, and regulations as well as industry standards and contractual commitments, and that you are not taking any major risks. Therefore, chief executive officers of organizations like to set up compliance departments and hire skilled and experienced individuals to make sure all individuals follow rules, laws, regulations, and contractual obligations on their behalf without relieving the CEO and board responsibilities. Required skills for compliance officers. We will answer this question in the upcoming sessions. We just discussed how a company's reputation and legal standing can suffer if they don't adhere to the health and safety standards mandated by law. Both compliance risk and reputation risk threaten the company's long-term capabilities to retain customers, increase sales, and increase profits, and pose the company potential legal action that could result in a large financial settlement. An organization can also be shut down by a court order or an order from a government body. Also, the consequences of failing to adhere to consumer protection laws can be severe as well. Therefore, compliance has played an important role in running the business efficiently and effectively. Any individual, entity, or community can be morally or physically injured by a behavior or action of any organization. The injured individual, entity, or community has the right to claim for corrective procedures and financial compensation. The injured party has the legal right to raise a claim in court against the organization that made a mistake and caused the injury. If any organization can't prove the reverse or the responsibility of an injured party's unilateral mistake to avoid risk or prove mutual or common mistake to improve legal positions and lessen severity, the company will likely lose the case, lose its reputation, and be forced to pay damages. And the organization that doesn't have enough cash on hand to cover the settlement, the court might order the assets be seized, especially if the burden of proof is on the management of the organization, and the management can't provide enough reliable and admissible evidence to get the organization off the hook. The level of risk for not complying with laws, regulations, or contractual terms can be very high and depends on the following. 1. The magnitude of the harm that varies widely according to nature of legal requirements, nature of damages, and volume of injuries. 2. Likelihood of compliance and legal risks depends on the severity of the negligence, whether it be purposeful wrongdoing or gross negligence. What are the unilateral, mutual, or common mistakes? And what is the legal position of each mistake? We will know that in the upcoming sessions. The compliance check is an inspection process that determines whether the employees, customers, suppliers, agents, or any other parties that deal with an organization are adhering to the standards, rules, and regulations of an industry or governing body. Compliance ensures the predominance of evidence because it enables the determination of whether management is acting in good faith and exercising skills, diligence, and care, or not. And it is necessary to document and record processes and transactions in a way that is both transparent and accurate, and this is what compliance ensures. Compliance should identify, assess, and report the potential and actual risks that are related to issues or potential scenarios that are non-compliant with required criteria. Compliance criteria require compliance to observe and compare current process or behavior to predetermined measurements of standard process or behavior. Compliance criteria includes laws and regulations, rules and standards required by donors, terms of agreement or contracts signed with third party including employment contract, industrial standards, mission, values and strategic goals of organizations. Compliance check or review is not conducted for organizations' activities. It should be conducted for agents, suppliers, employees and customers' behaviors and actions. For example, A compliance audit is to inspect the process that was handled by employees to ensure if the authorized employees were performing the duties according to policies and procedures or unauthorized employees processed the transaction. What is the impact and likelihood of associated risks, and what are justifications of management assessing unauthorized transactions by unauthorized employee or processing authorized transactions by an authorized employee? And are those justifications reasonable and based on reliable and verifiable data? And how can this risk be significant for reporting to the CEO? Also, compliance audit includes of employees' recruitment and termination process to ensure such process followed policies and procedures, laws, and regulations, and reduce any legal claim risk raised from unfair treatment or unfair dismiss. Another example, compliance audit is to inspect contracting process with supplier and spotlight of risks that can be faced after signing the contract with supplier, including checking how far the contractor complies with contractual terms during performance of contract to reduce risk of contributing to make the mistake and injuring other party. The organization should establish the best controls and monitor their activities to ensure daily compliance with regulations and standards and prevent potential risks that cannot be tolerated by the board of directors. Proactive compliance can assist management identify potential risk and develop preventive, and corrective controls to handle the risk as soon as feasible, avoid it, or detect it early to lessen its severity and take the best actions against it. It is time for your second break. Thank you for your listening. This is Avatar Matthew who read the compliance orientation session that is prepared by Hamjad. Please take the second break of the session 1 and we will continue completing the session 1 of compliance orientation.